In this video, we're going to learn all about sweep. I'm going to talk about two things: what sweep is and why we do it, and secondly, how to sweep. So let's get started with what it is and why we do it. Well, for starters, sweep may look like this, or this, or even this. But it's a lot more than just cleaning. If after this video you think that sweep is just about sweeping down the floors and scrubbing surfaces, then I failed you, because it's a lot more than that. Sweep is not actually about cleaning. It's about not cleaning. It's because we don't want to have to clean it ever again. That's the point, even though we are cleaning. This may be confusing and sound counterintuitive, but that's okay. I'm going to make it clearer in just a little bit, so hang tight. So when we sweep, we clean. That's what we do, but it's not why we're doing it. There's two reasons why we're cleaning when we sweep. The first is this: you can't work well in a messy environment. It's just a fact of life that if your workspace is messy, you're going to have a harder time getting things done. This is true in manufacturing, true in an office setting, really anywhere. If there's papers all over the place, if there's sawdust and clippings or grease and oil, dirt, all kinds of things like that on your equipment, on your floors, on your tables, or other places, then they're going to get in the way of what you're trying to get done. There's other problems too. There could be safety problems. All of that uncleanliness in your workspace could lead to fires or someone tripping and falling or something like that. And so another reason why you want to get rid of it. But then lastly, you could have contamination. Your product or service might have a defect simply because it's hard to get around all of the dirt and grime, or it breaks down equipment. There's all kinds of possibilities. And so it's really important to get that mess away on a regular basis, because without it, or rather with it, it's hard to do your job. But the second reason why we clean during sweep is even more important. Cleaning helps us identify the source of the mess in the first place. This is why sweep is actually not about cleaning. It's about not cleaning. You see, we're trying to identify the sources of the mess in the first place so that we can eliminate them, or at least reduce them, so we have less cleaning to do for all the other days of this year in our lives. See, let me ask you a question. Is cleaning by itself creating value for the customer? No, it's not creating a product. It's not offering a service, but it is a necessary evil. We need to do it, otherwise we're not going to work as well. So let's take the example of the leaves and debris on the floor. So how did these leaves get here in the first place? Well, I realized that we like to keep our doors and windows open, and not all of our windows and doors have screens on them. So that's one way in which it's getting inside of the house. Perhaps we should invest in screens or even repair some of them if they're broken. Secondly, there's a tree in our front yard that at different times of the year tends to drop a lot of stuff out of its branches. If we don't have a doormat to wipe off our feet, and then also if we don't have a no shoe policy on the carpet floors, then we could be tracking in all of that dirt into the rest of the house. By applying these countermeasures, we can reduce the number of leaves and debris flying into the house or being tracked in by our feet. That way we'll have less to clean in the first place. Okay, now that you understand what sweep is and why we do it, let's talk about how to sweep. Well, I'm not going to give you a tutorial on how to mop the floor or wipe down a surface, because really what you clean and how you clean it, that's going to be determined by you, based on the equipment, the surfaces and processes and other things that you use in your business. But I am going to tell you two important things. The first is this: you need to pay attention and inspect while you clean. How else did I come to understand, for example, that the house didn't have enough screened windows and doors? It's because I got up close and personal to my floors and inspected them. You see, cleaning is an opportunity to give a really good look over on the thing that you're cleaning, to inspect it deeply. It's then that you're going to notice the nicks and dings and dents or corrosion or whatever that you may not necessarily see in your day-to-day work. The second thing I'm going to say is that you really should consider standardizing what you clean during sweep. Standardization is the subject of the next S in this video series, so I won't go too much into it right now. But for the subject of sweep, it's important that you have clarity about who cleans what and when and how. How do I know this? Well, I know this because I got married. You see, when I got married, I thought I knew how to clean a kitchen, but then I realized that I really didn't. My way was different than my wife's way, and her way was a lot better. We've since then basically created a standard for how the kitchen should be cleaned. It's now clear who does what and when and how, and without standardization like that, it's really challenging to do sweep. That's why I recommend that you consider it in your sweeping efforts. Okay, well that's all that I have to say about sweep. It's a lot more than just cleaning, goes a lot more deep than just that. It's about finding the root causes and sources of mess in the first place and getting rid of them as much as possible so that you don't have to spend your time sweeping and cleaning and can rather invest that time in value-added activities without the safety issues, without the strain and frustration of working in an unclean environment. Well, that's it for now. I'll see you again next time.